Hi Zoe, Barnaby here. I've done a quick mock-up of just the layout for the design for this website in response to your last email. So looking at this one, it's definitely an improvement on the old website. There's more white space, it just looks nicer, doesn't seem as sort of disorganized as the other one did. But in terms of the analysis that I sent through last week, there are a few things missing from this design that would really help your conversion rate, getting people interested and keeping people on the site to learn more about the Hunger Project. Basically, I need to get a better understanding of what you want these links to do. So my first concern is that right here you have a link about the Hunger Project. Immediately under that you have an area describing what the Hunger Project is. So you have a link here taking you to another page to explain what's right beneath it. I would personally get rid of this box completely. It's superfluous considering that there is a link right above it, and also it clutters the space up. It puts too many things on the page. So when people are on a website, they read and scroll down. On this one, you have 3 columns. If people wanted to look at, they'd have to read this one and then scroll down, and then move up, read this one and scroll down, and then go to this one and scroll down. It just clutters things up and kind of doesn't make the website very readable or intriguing for people to read. So I would personally completely get rid of this box here. And if you did want this about the Hunger Project section, I would put that in elsewhere, and I'll show you that later on. Now this is really good, massive headline, lots of white space, very simple basic explanation that just in a snapshot gives people an understanding of what this is about. I don't know your intentions for this, but this should definitely be a call to action button which takes people directly to the page where they can make a donation. Taking them to this page is okay, but again, they then have to look for the link to make a donation. So I would definitely recommend that this goes straight to the donations page, a link here, and I'll show you that in my mock-up. This, as I mentioned before, having these 3 columns kind of clutters the page up, and when people first land on the page and there's all this information, it kind of takes them aback. They're a little bit shocked and they don't want to have to read all this stuff. If you keep it very simple, especially on the landing page, people are much more inclined to just take their time, look at the stuff, and get through it at their own pace instead of being overwhelmed. So this is just a mock-up I did, just the very basics. So up here we have your navigation bar. Now this is fine. We can have about, get involved, share, and then the 2 links for the social media, Twitter and Facebook. Very easy to put in. In this corner, on the navigation bar, you should always have the logo, an address, and a phone number. Now having an address and phone number, as I mentioned in the analysis video, builds credibility, makes it look like a solid, real organization. It's not just a web presence, there's definitely something real going on the ground. And having your logo there, it's always just a good way to get people familiar with the logo, the branding will stick with them, and they know what site they're on. Now here I would have the headline. That's really good. We can keep it in the same font and that style. I really like that. If you did want some images, they could be to either side of the headline, kind of to frame it, and they could fade in towards the headline so the headline really stands out. But images aren't essential considering you do have 2 really good videos there. Now for the target amount, number of lunches donated and dollars raised, I would have those below this so that people can look at the headline and then they can see exactly what's needed and how much has been given, etc. So they're getting a snapshot of the information of how this project is progressing. As you can see, this mock-up is done in a very linear fashion. So someone can land, read this, look down, read this, look down, get this information, and just scroll down and get the chunks of information piece by piece, instead of having stuff here which then they have to look over here, and maybe they'll look back here and over there, which is a little overwhelming. So if you have it in a linear fashion, people can just scroll down and really understand and take it at their own pace, which is really important if you want people to stay on the site and essentially commit. Now, right below this, we should definitely have the video. I don't know if having it in the corner, pushed down the bottom, would be a good place to have it. People might not see it. If you have a video bang on the landing page, it saves them having to read anything if they don't want to read it. Maybe they're more inclined to watch a video as opposed to read information. It's right there for them, and it takes the place of a hero image, which I did discuss in the analysis. And so it really sort of fixes people's attention, gives them an explanation, and they can learn all about the Hunger Project without having to go anywhere else, which is really good for getting people interested. Next to that, we can have this explanation here. It's good how it's been broken up into 2 simple paragraphs. Dot points seem to make it easier for people to read because it looks like it's punctual, it's going to end, and people are happy just to have a quick glance at it. So this is a good place to put in the explanation for the headline. Now these could be put underneath the video and explanation so that maybe people get to the page, see the headline, see it explained, and then once they have a better understanding, the impact of these figures really makes a difference. Now right below this, I would have a call to action button. So like you have here, but this should definitely be a large standout button that takes people directly to a donation page. Redirecting them to this site, as I said, is okay, but then people have to do more work trying to find where to donate. If you keep it very simple, it's just going to be a lot easier for people to commit. Underneath that, I really think that some form of social proof is critical. So you could have testimonials, but I think in this case, having your sponsors and partners, like you have on the original site with the Macquarie, is really important. If you have a few sponsors or partners listed along here, even if it's just their logos like this, it builds a lot of social proof. People are going to know those brands or those companies or organizations, and they're going to trust you more because they know those organizations, and the fact that they're affiliated with you will definitely make them more inclined to trust you and to be a part of the Hunger Project. So this is basically the way this works: is the basic information which is enough for people to act on. But then if they want more information, all they have to do is scroll down and they'll get some social proof. Scroll down a bit more, and then there's a further expansion of the information. So that the TED Talk video, those stats that I think it's a really good idea to have those stats, but putting them at the side there, I feel would just clutter the site up a little bit. Whereas if you have them in we could call it the ancillary information section just below, it sort of makes it easier to read. The add to calendar button here on the original site I think is really good. People can get it saved straight to their calendar, and it's fixed as a date that they have to put aside to commit to the project. And then having another call to action button after every, let's say, chunk of information is really important because it saves people having to scroll back up to the top to click get involved to then move on to donate. If you have these buttons after every poignant piece of information, such as the social proof and then another talk and the stats, if you have that call to action button, it's just people are more inclined to click it because it's right there when they want it. Now in terms of this about the Hunger Project, I think it's quite good that you have wanted to explain the Hunger Project on this site, but as I said about the link and the information right next to each other, it's unnecessary. If you did want that about, you could definitely fit it into this section here in front of the call to action button, or have it below it and then another call to action button at the bottom. So having those call to action buttons is a really important way of getting people to commit to the project. Now in the analysis video I did discuss opt-in boxes. Having an opt-in form on the site gives people the opportunity to give you their email, and so that you can further give them information and nurture them into being a partner or a donor later down the track. You don't have anything like that at the moment, and I don't know if the Hunger Project is using any form of autoresponder programs such as MailChimp or GetResponse. But the power of these is really quite incredible, because some people that come to the site are going to find the information and they want to get on board and they donate straight away or become a partner. But there are lots of people that will come, like the idea, but maybe not be in a place to commit right now, or they might need a little bit more information. If you have an opt-in box, they can give you their email, and then you have the opportunity to feed them that information over a period of time until they're comfortable to commit to the cause. So having an opt-in box is highly, highly recommended for any online success, basically. Charity, marketing, business, whatever it is, having an opt-in box is really powerful. Now that could go, I would always put it near the top, near the landing page, where people can just enter their information if they're interested. With an opt-in box, you should always trade their email or getting their email for something. So it could be some information about the Hunger Project or something like that. Like on our website, Heavy Hitter Sales Video, we offer a free website analysis for someone if they give us their email. So they're getting something for giving us their email. So an opt-in box is a really powerful way to get people interested and to nurture that interest into commitment later down the track. In terms of the design, I think this checkered pattern is really nice. Obviously it relates to the lunch theme, and it's just a nice color and a good pattern. I would have it as strips down the side of the page, which can fill in, let's say for like a really wide screen, or just have it as a strip there. That will clear up a lot of this white space and leave it white, which will make the site more conducive to reading, make it look less cluttered, and it'll just be aesthetically nicer. So that's just a basic mock-up I've done and of my recommendations for the site. Please let me know what you think and we can progress this further. Thank you.